Lobiando. In the 4th Congressional District, Congressman Chris Smith. 3rd Congressional District, Screening Committee recommendation is Tom MacArthur. And for the Ocean County Board of Chosen Freeholders, our very favorite freeholder, Joe Vicari. We have 2 of these races that have more than one candidate. I'm going to ask for first that we take the offices that have no opposition, and I will ask for a motion by acclamation for those. That would be Ocean County Board of Chosen Freeholders, Freeholder Vicari. In the 3rd Congressional District, Congressman Frank Lobiando. 2nd Congressional District, Frank Lobiando. And in the 4th Congressional District, Congressman Chris Smith. Do we have a motion to endorse by acclamation? First and second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. All right. Now I'm going to turn the mic over to George Gilmore. We will have an election for 2 offices. George Gilmore will also recognize our parliamentarian, Jack Saradnik, for the rules of the vote. Chairman?
Number 1, I want to thank everybody for turning out tonight. We have a big crowd. Hopefully this will be an evening where, after all is said and done, we all work together to support the candidates of the organization. But I do want to recognize all the candidates who submitted their resumes for consideration for the 3rd Congressional District. And I'm going to say your name. I just want you to wave to the crowd. A lot of people will know who you are. Some may not have had that much opportunity to sit down and talk to you, but we did have 17 candidates. They all were very viable candidates. They all would have represented the district well. And because the majority of them have decided to withdraw their nomination, I would like to simply recognize everybody. I'll start out with Councilman Mo Hill. Mo? Councilman Jim Burns from Berkeley Township. Assemblyman David Wolf. Dave. Councilwoman Sharon McKenna. Sharon. Mayor Lawrence Cuneo. Former freeholder from Burlington County, Bruce Garganio. John Giordano. Steve Lonigan. Tom MacArthur. Chris Asola. Ed Trowinski. Kara Webster. Bob Schaefer. Joe Lakowitz. Mayor Bob Matthews. And Mayor Randy Brown. For the U.S. Senate, we had 5 individuals submit their resumes and screen before the screening committee. Jeff Bell. Brian Goldberg. Rich Pizzullo. Murray Sabrin. Robert Turkovich. Now, under our rules, the only parties that get to speak are the successful candidates after the election has been held, with the exception that if an individual is nominated and gets a second from the floor and they withdraw, they have the right limited to 30 seconds to say a few words. Now, if there's any candidate here that wants to be nominated and get a second from the floor that does not have those nominations lined up, because I realize we have 5 U.S. Senate candidates, they haven't had much time to spend in Ocean County to try to solicit support. So if there's anybody that doesn't have the nomination second that wants to be nominated, so Rich Vizul, IC, Rob Turkovich, we will make sure we get you a motion in a second. Mary Sabrin, we'll make sure you get a motion in a second. Anybody else? The other 2 candidates have their motions as well. I don't know, is Jeff Bell here? Brian, you have your motion in your second? No. All right, so you all need it. All right. Well, we're going to work on the 3rd Congressional first. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to our parliamentarian, Jack Saradnik, and I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe a significant number of these individuals have already withdrawn. And correct me, Stephanie, if I'm wrong, Randy Brown has withdrawn, correct? Okay. I understand Mayor Bob Matthews has withdrawn. Is that correct? All right. Community Joe Lakowitz, you've withdrawn. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. Bob Schaefer, is he here? I've been told he was withdrawn also. Kara Webster, Kara, are you here? You were here. Are you withdrawing? Okay. Ed Truinsky, with name Bruce Gargiano, is withdrawing because he is being selected as a freeholder candidate now in Burlington County. Mayor Lawrence Cuneo, I understand you're withdrawing. Okay. Councilwoman Sharon McKenna, withdrawing. Okay. Assemblyman Dave Wolf previously announced he was withdrawing. Dave, you're withdrawing? Okay. And that would leave us with 3 candidates that have yet to withdraw or would stay in the race, I should say, and that is Mo Hill, Jim Burns, and Tom MacArthur. Did I miss anybody? Did I make any misstatements? We want to make sure we do this right. So, other than those 3, did I leave Lonigan out? I'm sorry, Steve Lonigan. Steve Lonigan, Tom MacArthur, Mo Hill, Jim Burns, right now are still in the race. Do all of you have motions and seconds? If somebody doesn't, we will get you those. Okay, I am now going to turn it over to our parliamentarian. Just so you know, we have 2 machines set up for, right? 2 machines set up for the 3rd Congressional District. We have 1 machine set up for the U.S. Senate District. We have 2 additional machines, am I correct? Set up for the 3rd Congressional District in case we have to go to a second round of balloting. It's much quicker just to bring those 2 new machines in than it is to reset the machines we have. Each candidate, and I'm probably going to say a couple things that Jack is going to say, each candidate has the right to have a representative inspect the machines before we start the voting to make sure they're satisfied they're clear. They have the right to have a representative, either themselves or a representative, present when they open up the back of the machine after the voting has concluded. So please, if it's not going to be the candidate yourself, please let Stephanie know who is going to be your representative for those tasks. And with that, I will now turn it over to Jack Saradnik.
Thank you, George. And we have people who are voting by proxy. I hope everyone that has a proxy has registered. If not, when I get done, please come forward and see me. We will call the votes town by town to come up and vote. The bottom line is, you'll hear the nomination. You heard the nomination from the screening committee. Other than the nominations placed in the screening committee, the only other candidates that can be nominated tonight are people who did appear before the screening committee. Once the nominations are made and seconded, the bottom line is that the vote will continue. The candidates that are on the ballot, it takes 50% plus 1 to win. If we have the first vote, if there is not a winner, then the lowest vote total candidate would drop out, and it'll be a second round of voting. And I think from that, let me turn this back over to Jack Kelly is the council president.
Okay, so we're open now for nominations for the 3rd Congressional District. Hold on 1 minute while the chairman here.
Just so everybody knows, I asked the three candidates who's nominating them so that we can recognize those individuals. And I'm just going to give this list. So you know who to recognize. Maybe ask that those people nominate.
Okay, then we'll start with Greg McCucken for Mo Hill. That nomination was seconded by Mayor Tom Kelleher. For Steve Lonigan, Walter LaCicero. Yes?
I ask that the delegates consider the candidate whose name recognition far exceeds any other candidate in the race, whether they be Democrats or Republicans. I ask that the delegates consider the candidate who has a proven ability to raise the significant amount of money necessary to defeat the Democrats in November. I ask the delegates to recognize the candidate who has already been thoroughly investigated by both the Democrat machine and the liberal media. And I ask the delegates to recognize a candidate whose conservative values go unquestioned. I place in nomination the name of Steve Lonigan, a congressman from the 3rd District of the state of New Jersey.
Thank you. Bob Lynn? That nomination has been seconded by Bob Lamb. For Tom MacArthur, I've been asked to make that nomination. Tom is a self-made businessman who can teach Washington something about creating jobs. He's a strong conservative who will fight to get rid of Obamacare, balance our federal budget, protect Social Security and Medicare, strengthen our military, and defend our individual freedoms. And I place in the nomination Tom MacArthur. Okay, so those 3 candidates have motions and seconds. Are there any other nominations to be made? Carmen Amato?
Mr. President, it's my honor and privilege to nominate a good friend from Berkeley Township, a Vietnam veteran, a Bronze Star Purple Heart recipient, a Sandy victim who left his home in ruins to help others not only evacuate but to rebuild their homes. I had the honor and privilege of serving him as our council president. It is my honor to nominate Chief Steve Burns.
And do we have a second? Okay, so Court can.
At this time, Chairman, I'll withdraw my nomination.
Okay,
I'd like to have my 20 seconds.
come right up. Councilman, you get a full 30 seconds.
Yeah, I want to hurry because the cookies are getting cold. Light refreshments, but I want to really thank all the towns that received all the candidates well. It was a good, polite campaign. I still think I'm the best candidate for the job. You know, being a senior citizen, a Sandy victim, disabled vet. But at this time, Berkeley still needs a lot of help. We still have hundreds of people out of their houses, Mayor Amato and my team, and for me to put that aside and with my family to campaign to raise this kind of money, I just won't be able to do it. So, I'm not going to desert my town or Ocean County, but at the end of the day, I'm going to support our candidate 110%, like Berkeley Township always done. But I'm going to also count them accountable. I don't want a congressman that won't show up down the shore after Sandy. So they're going to be accountable to us every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Okay, are there any other nominations? Seeing none, I ask, yes, Mr. Chairman.
We have the three candidates that are still in the race for CD3 come over to the machines, inspect them, or have a representative.
First, I need a motion to close the nominations. Second? All in favor? Aye. Okay, nominations are closed.
Now we can have the candidates, Mo Hill, Tom MacArthur, Steve Lonigan, please send representatives up to inspect the machines. It's two machines on the far side. Do we have representatives of each of the campaigns, please? Because we have such a large crowd here tonight, we're going to start the voting for the 3rd Congressional District first. As soon as that's done, we'll start the voting for the U.S. Senate race, and we'll continue voting as long as it takes. Under our rules, so you understand. Under our rules. Listen up, ladies and gentlemen, so you understand the process. Under our bylaws and rules, in order to win the nomination of the Ocean County organization, you must receive 50% plus 1 vote of the total votes cast. If you do not receive, if no candidate receives 50% plus 1, then the candidate receiving the lowest number of votes is dropped, and we go through the voting again until we have someone obtain 50% plus 1. Are there any questions from the candidates as to the voting procedure? If not, let me know when the candidates and their representatives have inspected the machines. Are satisfied? U.S. Senate candidates, we'll get your nominations done in a few minutes, but would you please come up and just inspect the machines? I already know all 5 of you will be nominated.
Number 1. For Tom MacArthur, 39. For Mo Hill, 38. For Steve Lonigan, 2. We're going to close out machine number 2 now, and we're going to go through the same process. So stay with us, and we'll be back. For Mo Hill, 54, and for Steve Lonigan, 3. So we do have a winner, and that's Tom MacArthur. Let me turn this over to our county chair.
Thank you very much. Tom MacArthur, come on up, please. First and foremost, to all the candidates, we congratulate you. Tonight, our organization has selected its endorsed candidate, which is Tom MacArthur. Please give him your attention.
Good evening, everyone. I'm catching my breath a little bit still. Tonight, one strenuous process comes to an end and another one starts. And I just want to say a few things to all of you. First, I want to thank
the county leadership, the county party leadership for running a fair and open process that I think brought the best out of all of us. We were required really to go to every town. We wanted to, but we really had to as well. Every town, every mayor, every municipal chair, every club president, as many council members as we could meet, as many club members as we could meet, because that's the way the process works here. And I have a lot of respect for it, and I'm glad for it. I think it made me a much better candidate. And I also gained a great deal of respect for those that were competitors in this race. We gave our speeches together night after night. We got to know each other, and there were times when I think Mo Hill could have given my speech, and I could have given Jim Burns' speech, probably convincingly. And I think we gained real respect for one another. Now I know tonight that everyone that ran for this seat put their heart and soul into this race. And I know that many of you worked very hard for somebody that you wanted to win. And I want you to know that I respect that, and I respect every one of you for what you've done. That's what makes this such a great process in this great county. And I think we're very fortunate as a Republican Party to have such a strong organization. You've heard me talk about my family. I want to introduce my wife, Debbie. My youngest daughter, Isabella. My son, David. And my dear daughter-in-law, Erin. And my in-laws did not come forward, but they are right in the middle of the room with all eyes on them, right there. Manny and Isabella. The fact is, I would not be running for anything, and I would not have accomplished very much in my life without my family's love and support and sacrifice. So I really want to thank them all very much. I just want to say a few things about the future of this race and about the future of our country. I believe we're at a crossroads. Our nation is moving in the wrong direction under President Obama and his Democratic allies, and we seem to be moving in that direction faster and faster. Our economy is still struggling. We have millions of people out of work. We have more people that are underemployed, not working to their full potential. We have people that have given up in despair and discouragement that aren't even in the workforce anymore. Our taxes are rising, our debt is out of control. We need real change in Washington. Our personal liberties seem to have a question mark after this sometimes. And I think our credibility in the world has been waning. And I see it even this week with what's happened in Crimea. I'm running for Congress because I want to make a positive difference on the future of our company. I want to pursue policies that get Americans back to work again, and our government can help with that. I want to see our military strong again and with the tools they need to defend our freedoms in a dangerous world. These are things I'll fight for. Restoring the shoreline, getting our recovery from Sandy done, and seeing our coast renewed. Seeing Social Security and Medicare secure for this generation and the next. These things matter, and these are things that I will fight with all my might for. That's why I'm running. And I believe we can make that change. We can go from pessimism to hope, not the fleeting hope from lofty words, but the hope that comes from accomplishment. The hope that comes when you have a good job and you're working to secure your family's future. That's the kind of hope that I want to run for. I want to see our liberties and the pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness secure for every American. I want my children and your grandchildren to pursue the American dream and actually think it's possible. That's why I'm running, and that's what I ask you for tonight, for your help to make that run, to make our country strong again, to pursue a future that's bright for our children. That's what I'm asking for your help. And I'm so grateful tonight to be here with you. I'm so grateful to have your support. And I say now, let's go on to November and let's win this thing. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we still have work to do. We now have to select